Suicide is now the leading cause of death for kids in Colorado, and the state legislature now wants mental health screenings for every kid in middle and high school. State Senator Jim Smallwood voted against the proposal that's now on the governor's desk and joins us now. I'm interested in the vote, and specifically sort of if you think this really is a problem with mental health in kids in schools, and then why you voted against it.
Great. Thanks so much for having me on. I appreciate the questions because you're exactly right. It's a complicated issue. In fact, I would say it was one of the most controversial bills we heard this year as it came to trying to balance parents' rights, which what I think you already leaned into a little bit, which is a fact that we know that mental health is important and suicide, particularly among young people, is a big deal here in the state of Colorado. So what we had was a bill that would mandate screenings in schools. I actually really like the concept and only voted against it because of really the small details, like who would be doing these screenings. As you can imagine, parents on both sides of the political spectrum was concerned as to who would be the individual screening their kids. And obviously, before some amendments, parents were very concerned because it was one of the few laws I've ever seen, not only in our state, but across the country, that would have allowed kids to opt themselves back into a screening once their parents have opted their kiddos out. So it was controversial. I like the concept, and as soon as we iron out some of the small details, I look forward to supporting this concept because I do think it's something that's necessary in our state.
It's fascinating. The devil's always in the details, right? I'm thinking about the bill itself. Voluntary mental health screening for 6th through 12th graders, as you point out, whether or not kids get to opt out, whether or not parents get to opt out is questionable. Students would be referred to treatment if needed through the state's free youth therapy program. Parents can opt out. Students 12 or older can decide if they want screening, even if their parents are against it. That's key. If a student needs treatment, parents will be notified and given information. If students in crisis school would follow its crisis response protocol. I'm guessing that's if a kid shows signs they're interested in hurting themselves. I'm wondering if there's something more to this here, in that as much as we have heard the debates about what schools can and cannot tell parents, if this wasn't a little bit of a power grab in the name of mental health of allowing kids effectively to go around their parents.
The bill the bill as introduced would have allowed exactly that. There would have been mental health screenings in schools. Parents would have been notified of that and given an option to opt their kids out. Yet in the introduced bill, kids then could have gone around their parents' back and opted themselves back in. And in that case, parents wouldn't even have been notified if their kid was suicidal, at risk of harming others. So I'm really grateful that the bill sponsors and the proponents agreed to some big amendments right before the bill was passed that undid a lot of that very controversial actions. And so the bill, as it moves forward now, in my opinion, is much, much better, and actually something that is getting pretty close to something that people like me, supporters of parents' rights, could actually really get behind.
Yeah, I guess also, as you pointed out, and this always is the real issue of who is doing the screening and exactly what they're screening for. We always appreciate someone coming on and willing to talk about an issue, as you did. You're welcome back anytime, sir. Thank you.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.